So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION. World is One.
Hello and welcome to the West Asia Post. I am Rhythm Sharma, bringing you the biggest flashpoints from the world's most volatile region. In this episode, we tell you how Iran may have only one narrow window to counter the world's most powerful military if a war with the United States breaks out. We also decode Israel's chilling warning to Hamas. The IDF says the militant group has just 60 days to disarm, or Gaza could face another round of war. We also talk about how the Houthis are recruiting child soldiers into their army, with enlistment surging during Ramzan. All this is lined up, but first, the box. The most powerful military on the planet is massing at Iran's doorstep. One aircraft carrier deployed, another is rushing to the region. Waves of fighter jets, guided missile destroyers, a naval armada of historic scale are circling. 2 rounds of talks between Iran and the US have failed to find a common ground. But inside Tehran's closed rooms, strategists are running a very different calculation. Because if talks collapse and the bombs start falling, Iran has only one window to change the course of this war.
For Iran's military planners, a war with the United States is not about endurance. It is about shock, speed, saturation. If the US strikes, Tehran's doctrine is brutally clear. Hit back immediately. Hit back everywhere. And hit back hard. American air power alone would methodically dismantle Iran's infrastructure base by base.
Not easy to make a meaningful deal with Iran. We have to make a meaningful deal. Otherwise, bad things happen. But we have to make a meaningful deal.
But winning, Iranian commanders have long argued, is not the point, and survival requires one devastating, coordinated opening blow before the Americans can establish air supremacy. Before the carrier strike groups lock in their firing solutions, before the shock and awe silences everything. The horizon of the Iranian coast is crowded with the brute force of a superpower. The USS Abraham Lincoln is on station, and the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, is slicing through the waves and fast approaching the region. The massive naval build-up, coupled with a surge of elite fighter jets and about 40,000 US troops, is designed to force Tehran onto its knees. Washington's demands are absolute: zero nuclear enrichment and a total halt to ballistic missile development. But behind the closed doors of the Muscat and Geneva talks, the diplomacy is failing. The threats are rising.
So what the president has been very clear with the Iranians, and actually I just talked to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner this morning about some of their negotiations, is the United States has certain red lines. Our primary interest here is we don't want Iran to get a nuclear weapon. We don't want nuclear proliferation.
Iran is digging in. Supreme Leader Khamenei fires back with a chilling pledge. Iran's arsenal includes weapons capable of sending American warships straight to the seabed.
It seems to them that, and the US president keeps saying this, the US army is the strongest army in the world. The strongest army in the world may sometimes get slapped so hard that it cannot stand up straight.
Khamenei's words follow this AI-generated video released by the IRGC, which shows a barrage of Iranian missiles and drones attacking American nuclear-powered warships. Along with them, Iran has fast-attack torpedo boats and submarine-launched torpedoes. If the order comes, the Islamic Republic's strategy is not a slow burn, but a devastating immediate wildfire. The plan is to overwhelm US multi-layered missile defense systems with a saturation strike the likes of which have never been seen. Simultaneously, the Houthis in Yemen would need to join Iranian forces. It has the firepower, ballistic missiles the kind that have already struck deep inside Israel. That second front would force the Americans to split their missile defenses, to divide their attention, to absorb blows from multiple directions at once. Now, in an interesting development, Russia has sent a warship to the region. Iran and Russia are holding drills. By embedding Russian assets into the Iranian defense perimeter, Moscow is creating a strategic shield. It complicates any potential US strike plan, forcing American commanders to consider the risk of hitting a Russian hull. Remember, Moscow has repeatedly released statements urging Washington to engage in dialogue and not to attack Iran. Iran also continues to show its prowess. It conducted military drills in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Iranian forces fired live missiles. Iran has warned that if pushed to a corner, it can shut off the crucial waterways. About 13 million barrels of crude oil per day was transited through the Strait of Hormuz in 2025. This is roughly 31% of global seaborne crude flow. A blockade of the critical route would send global markets in a tizzy. The American deployment in West Asia has similarities with the 2003 Iraq War. Trump is pushing every possible war asset to the region. If war comes, Iran knows it cannot match America blow for blow. Its only chance is the first blow. A massive opening strike meant to change the battlefield before the war consumes the nation. After that first hour, the balance shifts decisively. Tehran knows it. Washington too is aware of the risks.
Israel is turning up the heat in Lebanon in what appears to be a calculated preparation for a much bigger showdown with Iran. In recent days, the IDF has intensified strikes on Hezbollah and Islamic Jihad targets. The move is seen as an attempt to cripple Iran's most powerful regional ally. The aim is to make Hezbollah unable to assist Iran in case of a war. As Israel strikes, Hezbollah is pushing back. It is rejecting a Lebanese government plan to disarm the group. Watch our report to find out what's unfolding.
Israel's military campaign in Lebanon is escalating by the day. Not as a response to a single attack, but as a strategic preparation for a possible new war with Iran. The IDF has been targeting what it claims are Hezbollah operatives, rocket launchers and weapons depots in an effort to undermine the group's ability to support Tehran in any future regional conflict. According to reports, since the start of February, 12 Hezbollah and Islamic Jihad militants have been killed in Lebanon. These men were accused of rebuilding the group's infrastructure in the southern part of the country. The latest strike took place in the Taluse area, where the IDF claims the target was working to re-establish Hezbollah's control, including seizing private property for militant purposes. Israel said this was the second such killing within just 12 hours. All of this comes despite a ceasefire agreement that took effect in November 2024, after over a year of deadly hostilities between the two countries.
If there was a truce, this wouldn't have happened. Am I right? Our home wasn't hit during the war, it was hit now. What truce? And we came to retrieve the belongings we left behind. They didn't let us. What truce? It's just talk.
Despite carrying out strikes themselves, Israel says that Hezbollah has continued to violate the truce. The IDF claims hundreds of fighters have been killed since the ceasefire, and nearly 2,000 instances of truce breaches have taken place. But Hezbollah is firm. It is refusing to disarm as sought by the Lebanese government. The cabinet has given the army 4 months to advance a second phase of a national disarmament plan, extending arms control north of the Litani River towards the city of Sidon. Hezbollah has rejected the move, calling it a step that serves Israel's interests. Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem warns that focusing on disarmament is a major mistake. Israel continues to hold strategic positions inside southern Lebanon, insisting Hezbollah is rearming and that the Lebanese army is not moving fast enough. On the other hand, the Lebanese government is urging the IDF to cease its truce violations.
We made several requests to the German side, of course asking for their assistance to the Lebanese army and, if possible, for them to play a key role after UNIFIL. We also asked them to put pressure on Israel to comply with the ceasefire agreement, withdraw from the 5 hills, and end the current situation so that Lebanon can move forward.
As tensions around Iran peak, this parallel theater is heating up. Hezbollah is one of the most powerful allies of Iran, and Israel is showing increasing signs that it may make a decisive move against the group.
Israel is signaling the next phase of the Gaza war may just be weeks away. A new deadline is now being discussed, a 60-day window for Hamas to disarm, or the group could face full-scale military action. At the same time, far-right voices inside Israel's government are openly pushing for a much bigger shift. It includes formal annexation of the West Bank and the end of any future Palestinian state. This is not just about what happens in Gaza next. This is about what Israel's leaders are planning for the entire map of Palestine. Here's our report.
Netanyahu has set the clock ticking. Hamas has been put on notice. The group has been given a 60-day deadline to give up arms. Or else IDF will launch a new round of war in the Gaza Strip. The deadline is reportedly linked to US-backed diplomatic push, with Washington asking for a limited time frame before any further military decision is taken. Israeli officials say this will not be a partial surrender. They want Hamas stripped of every weapon still inside Gaza. And they also say the vast network of underground tunnels must be destroyed. On the ground, the war is already simmering. This is new footage released by the Israeli military showing a kilometer-long tunnel route uncovered in Beit Hanu in Gaza. IDF says that they found explosives there. The IDF says it has continued operations around Rafah, targeting Hamas fighters hiding in tunnels near the ceasefire line. Strikes and clashes have been reported almost daily since the October truce. But the bigger political storm may be brewing outside Gaza. While there are signs of renewed Israeli action in Gaza, West Bank is also facing intense pressure from Israel. In the West Bank, Israel's far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich has outlined what he calls the next government's agenda, scrapping the Oslo framework, undermining the Palestinian Authority and moving towards formal annexation of occupied territory. He has also spoken of encouraging Palestinian immigration, a position that has triggered alarm across the international community. The United Nations continues to view Israeli settlements as illegal under international law, and most of the world recognizes Palestinian statehood, even as the US remains a key shield for Israel diplomatically. The move continues to draw criticism from other countries and rights groups.
We must prevent the destabilization of the West Bank and preserve the viability of a Palestinian state. We have seen the Palestinian economy face strangulation, including the Israeli government withholding some of the Palestinian Authority's own tax revenues. We are witnessing an all-time high of Israeli settlement expansion and settler violence in flagrant breach of international law, with Palestinian families and communities driven from their homes, beaten while farming their own land, attacks that sow terror among civilians.
As the US remains a key shield for Israel diplomatically, with Israel heading towards elections later this year, the clock is now ticking on two fronts: a 60-day ultimatum in Gaza and a growing push to redraw the future of the West Bank permanently. The question now is whether this is a final diplomatic window or the opening chapter of the next war.
Let's dip into a short break. On the other side, we tell you how Dubai is using robots for firefighting.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Saudi Arabia's push to broaden its defense partnerships is causing discomfort in the US. The Trump administration signals it wants to remain Riyadh's primary and preferred arms supplier. The kingdom's talks with Turkey over a next-generation Khan fighter jet program are now raising questions about how multipolar the Gulf's security future is becoming. The US is not pleased with the changing power structure in West Asia. We tell you what's exactly happening.
Saudi Arabia's efforts to diversify its weapons sources are emerging as a new flashpoint with the United States, even as President Donald Trump continues to court the kingdom with major defense deals. The Trump administration has been seeking assurances from Riyadh after reports that the kingdom has been exploring arms cooperation with other regional powers, including Turkey. Saudi officials have already moved to ease American concerns on some fronts, including reports of a possible purchase of Pakistan's JF-17 fighter jet. But Washington has not received the same level of clarity over Saudi interest in Turkey's Khan. It is a next-generation fighter project that Ankara is promoting as a strategic partnership opportunity. For the United States, the issue is not that Saudi Arabia is abandoning the F-35 deal, but that it may be looking elsewhere in a way that could shrink America's dominant role in the kingdom's defense market. This comes at a time when West Asia is increasingly moving towards a more multi-aligned security order, with regional powers building new blocs and partnerships outside traditional US frameworks. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has recently suggested that a joint investment agreement on Khan could be finalized soon, and a model of the aircraft was even displayed in Riyadh with Saudi symbols. Defense analysts say Saudi Arabia could still end up buying both the American F-35 and the Turkish Khan, using competing offers to negotiate better terms. A key factor is technology transfer and local production, something Riyadh has been demanding under its Vision 2030 plan, which aims to shift half of Saudi defense spending into domestic industry. Another complication is Israel's long-standing demand to maintain its qualitative military edge, which has often limited the kind of advanced US weapons sold to Arab states. Even with Trump's public promises, the final shape of any Saudi F-35 package could still face political obstacles in Washington. For Riyadh, the message appears clear: more options mean more leverage and more room to shape its strategic future beyond a single defense patron. And for the Trump administration, this may be an early test of whether its deal-making diplomacy can hold in a region that is no longer willing to rely on one power alone.
Dubai is taking firefighting into the future, and this time the hero rushing into the flames isn't human. The Gulf city has now deployed robot firefighters to battle blazes in the most dangerous conditions, from toxic gas leaks to chemical fires and extreme heat. These machines don't just look high-tech, they can spray water up to 60 meters and pump thousands of liters every minute. So is this the next big step in emergency response? We tell you more about this futuristic approach by the Emirates.
Dubai's firefighters are getting back up, and it's not another truck or a new water tank, it's a robot. The city has begun deploying robotic firefighting systems to help tackle blazes in areas too risky for humans. Operated by Dubai Civil Defense, this remotely controlled robot can spray water up to 60 meters and pump around 2,400 liters per minute. Officials say it's built for the most extreme conditions, including toxic gases, chemical fires, and intense heat. Officials say the robot can go where firefighters often can't. They explain that it can move through staircases, enter tight spaces, and reach dangerous zones that would put human lives at serious risk.
This is a human firefighter. You know, if he goes into a very harsh environment with chemicals, with toxic materials burning, it can harm him, but it doesn't harm the robot as much, since it already also detects these kind of gases and leaks through its sensors. And it also cools down on itself. It has its own system of cooling down itself in these high heat environments.
Unlike people, the robot is equipped with sensors that can detect gas leaks and hazardous materials, making it ideal for high-risk emergencies. And this is not just a future concept. In November 2025, Dubai Police introduced its self-driving patrol robot, DPR-02, at the Global Village tourist destination. The vehicle comes with AI support, face recognition, and fully automated patrol features. Visitors say the technology is both surprising and impressive and reflects Dubai's push for innovation and safety.
I think it's very innovative. It's very good. It's forever developing and new things, so it's good. That's why we're here. That's why we love living here, you know. You don't get this back in many countries, so it's good that Dubai is very innovative in technology, because my son loves it, you can see.
With long-term strategies to integrate robotics into government services, Dubai is clearly betting on a future where machines help save lives and respond faster than ever before.
Thank you for watching the West Asia Post. I am Ridham Sharma. I will see you next week with a brand new lineup of stories. For major global updates, keep watching WION World is One.
WION Health Resort is unique, the only one of its kind. Experience the 4 paths of natural wellness: yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy. Each uniquely customized program improves the whole person to make every person whole. Come to WION Health Resort. Make your reservation at WION.com.
Campaigns, elections, alliances, controversies, and power play. Beyond the noise and rhetoric, no election, no ballot issue too small. Stories that analyze global and domestic politics. More than just headlines. A dedicated show with varied perspectives, expert take, citizens' voices, detailed ground reports, and in-depth coverage from political corridors of the world. This is Race to Power. Only on WION. World is one.
On Inside South Asia this week, the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh takes charge. What to expect from Tariq Rahman, we decode. Chronic unemployment forces Nepalese youth to seek job opportunities abroad. Can March 5 polls lead to new avenues? And we take you to Pakistan, where Gen Z is having a new kind of nightlife. All this and much more on Inside South Asia.
As soon as my cousin stepped outside the house, he was hit by a bullet.
In-depth coverage of global issues broken down into facts, figures, and simple words. Backed with analysis from field experts who truly matter, because we believe in decoding the real picture for you. So you get a much wider and deeper understanding of stories from around the world, a 360-degree analysis. An award-winning documentary series, week after week creating the maximum impact. Watch WION Wide Angle at these times on WION. World is one.
In West Asia, every move shifts the world's balance. Wars, ceasefires, alliances, power never stands still. From Tehran to Tel Aviv, from Damascus to Doha, the West Asia Post cuts through the chaos to reveal the region that shapes the world. Because what happens in West Asia never stays in West Asia. This is the West Asia Post, the region's story, the world's impact.
And welcome to a brand new edition of South India, a daily dynamic show that will capture the pulse of southern states.
By blending the special stories, the breaking alerts, and the culture developments as well.
As Wuthering Heights makes waves across the world, we look at the many screen adaptations of Emily Bronte's only novel. Know all about the celebrities who have rare organism species named after them. And meet Grammy-winning band Tenari Wen. All this and much more with me, Diksha Bisla, on WION at these times.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Vielleicht nur